Good afternoon. Today, I just want to build some more Legos. I've been doing some more work with my setup, trying to fix the lag issues I had before. I don't know if what I did today is going to have any effect. So, I think we're going to switch over to what I intend to build and see what happens when the camera actually goes up before I actually start building. So we're going to switch over to my building camera. Alright, so far so good. And of course, I put the instructions up. You can see we have here the 3 Lego Star Wars mechs. There's a stormtrooper we're going to build first. Then we're going to build Boba Fett. And then we're going to finish with Darth Vader. The plan is to build the stormtrooper, see how the frame rate holds up. We're scheduled for an internet upgrade on Friday, but these have been sitting in my room for a month. I wanted to get them built. So actually just Boba Fett and Vader have been sitting here. The stormtrooper I just got the other day because in order to finish the trio. Funny thing about these 3 sets, even though Boba Fett and Darth Vader are both popular named characters with rule of wow factor attached to them, the stormtrooper actually I heard is selling better than the named characters, because unlike the 2 named characters, the stormtrooper can actually be used for army building. And a lot of people buy trooper sets just to build as big an army as they can do. So I thought that was kind of cool to learn that. But we'll start with the stormtrooper because it's the most generic of these, and then we'll build up. We haven't dropped any frames yet. Let me move my hands around in the screen and see if anything happens real quick. Meanwhile, you can see I've also pulled out the brick separator. That'll be standard for Lego streams. But this is the last Lego set I'll have until next month. And I'm actually going out of town at the end of the month for Halloween. But I hope to get in a few more non-Lego streams before then. We haven't dropped any frames yet. Actually, there's still a considerable amount of open space around the top left of the table. Can I make the other camera work? Okay, I don't think I can make the other camera work, which is okay because I'm still working on stuff for the face cam anyway. I'm working on some new tech for the face cam that I think you'll appreciate. Probably won't be ready till after I get back. Anyway, let's go ahead. I haven't dropped frames yet, so let's go ahead and start the stormtrooper and then see what happens. I'll take Darth Vader and Boba Fett. I'll take off screen for a little bit, and you'll see them again in a little bit later. Alright, so here's the stormtrooper mech. Here's the box. You can see the trooper, and on the back you can see how it comes with the stormtrooper figure, and the trooper just sits inside the suit like that. And I have as usual for Lego streams, I have the instructions queued up on my second screen. So let's go ahead and get this open. And I know from looking at the PDF instructions that these pretty much all follow the same build sequence and have 3 numbered bags. The first bag is the core, the second bag is the legs, and the third bag is the arms and accessories. Since these have numbered bags, we'll be able to do these easily. Alright, let's take this off. And let's take bag 2 and 3 off to the side here. And of course, here's the instruction book, but we have the PDF version ready to go. So let's go ahead and get the PDF going. Alright, so far we're not dropping any frames, but I'll be keeping a close eye on that because of the problems we've had. My last LEGO episode, I actually didn't upload to YouTube right away. I actually thought about treating it as a lost episode because of how bad the frame rate drop was. But I think I'm going to go ahead and upload it. So you can see here what the bags do. The core, then the leg, then bag 3 is the arms. So it says bag 1. The first thing we're supposed to do is build the trooper. So there's our pile of the trooper helmet almost got stuck in the bag. Let's just do that with it. Alright, we're about 9 minutes in, and we're just getting ready to start building. So we attach the body to the legs, and then there's a head. Oh, and that's cool. That's definitely a female head. They gave the generic trooper, a female head for this one. So this trooper might actually be unique in the trooper armies in terms of regular stormtroopers are concerned. And then of course we'll just pop on. We'll pop on the helmet like this. And you'll notice with these 3 mechs, they don't have headpieces. The heads you see are actually the minifigure heads sticking out of the mech torso. But actually, we'll go ahead and do this so you can continue to look at the trooper. Alright. And she's supposed to be holding a blaster, but I'm going to hold off on that and because the mechs are supposed to have storage for the minifigure weapons. Because if we're going to put them in the pilot suit, there's no point in them holding the minifigure scale weapon. So here's the blaster. Here's the helmet. I can't make the helmet go forward, so... Actually, my camera's not the greatest. You can't really see here, so let's go ahead and put the helmet on after all. At least that'll be a little more iconic. Let's go ahead and start building. So we start with this chunky little bit here. And then we just start adding pieces. Like so. Are we really just adding 1 piece per step? No wonder the instruction manual is so many pages. I'm trying to do this as much on camera as possible. 0% drop frames so far. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it. Well, if it is 1 piece per step, that explains why it's an 80-page instruction book for only 130 pages. I mean 130 pieces. Well, 140-ish. I'll mention it when we get there. And I know it's hard, sometimes it's hard to see what I'm doing because my big fingers get in the way. It's just an unfortunate effect of LEGO streams. At least it's cool to have LEGO to build on the stream. That'll be a rare occurrence moving forward, but it'll be something that I will be doing sometimes. I already built that Ravenclaw house that I was talking about on the previous stream, so you guys won't get to see that, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. And we're already almost done with bag one, it looks like. And the other two mechs are going to start with very similar builds to this. So it may get repetitive after a while, but the other two mechs obviously have different color schemes. Okay, last time I streamed LEGO, drop frames had already started, so this is a good sign. But by this point in the stream, I was already dropping frames, so that's a good sign, and I'm going to proceed as planned. I was a little worried about doing this before the Comcast upgrade, but I just want to get these built so I can get them onto my display shelves. Okay, here we go. Here's the, this is going to be the chest plate piece for the mech, and you can see here a printed tile of the Imperial emblem. All three of the mechs have a printed tile on the chest plate. Boba Fett has detailing of his Mandalorian-style armor, and Darth Vader has his breathing machine, and the stormtrooper just has the Imperial logo. I still think it looks pretty cool. And this will go onto the unit like this. And just like that, we have the torso of the stormtrooper mech. Bag 2 is going to be the legs. Oh, and as you can see on the torso for the stormtrooper, it's a little plain on the back. The two named characters actually have a little bit of detail going on with the back. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started with bag 2. So it says to do this like this. And it looks like this is a fixed knee piece, and I think the elbows and the knees are both fixed joints, meaning they're not posable. Which is okay, because I heard they actually do stand well when you position the legs correctly. So standing should not be an issue, even though the knees and the elbows are unposable. So it says we're supposed to put that on like that, and then this other piece goes on top like this, and this lines up with the knee joint like that. Sorry about the face cam. I'm just gonna have to work out the tech for that. It has been acting up in the studio, and I don't know why, because that camera generally works with my other conferencing software, so I don't know why the studio won't load that particular camera, because I've never had a problem with it before the move. I'm trying my best to keep things on camera. I know I'm not being totally successful with that. I do apologize for that. This section goes on here. So this connects down here like this. So the first leg is on the trooper. And we shall continue adding pieces, because it looks like from the instructions we're building the foot that goes on the end of that leg. Any 1x1 with slopes is really difficult to grip, but I got there. Sorry if you can't really see what I'm doing that well from my fat fingers. I'm doing my best to try and keep things on camera. And then that joint, oh, that's the front of the foot like that. Okay, so that plugs into the leg like that. And we have the torso's first leg and foot. And what do you know? It actually can sort of stand like that, but we're not going to do that. Because once we attach the second leg, it'll become unbalanced till we build the second foot. So we're not going to stand it up till we build the other, till we finish the other foot. Maybe it's for the better that I wasn't able to get the face cam going today. My acne's been acting up earlier this week, so. Although I thought I looked good, pretty good for today coming out of the shower. But looking pretty good for today still isn't looking great. But still, I look better than usual coming out of the shower, so it would have been cool too if I could do the face cam, but it doesn't matter. Maybe it's probably less distracting not having the face cam. I can't fix it. We're up to half of 1% of drop frames, which is way lower than the 20 and the 50 I was dealing with the last 2 times. So for now, we still seem to be good. I'm not going to try bothering with the cam anymore. Let's just keep building. Okay, so this leg's going to attach on this side. And now we need to build her other foot. Obviously, I won't be able to do sets that are above a certain size threshold on this setup. I'm exploring other options to possibly be able to use a table for those, but given how many pieces those get into, it may be too long for an actual stream when we talk about bigger sets. Not that I have a budget for anything like that right now, because I don't. But I do have a wish list. Like all LEGO fans, I have a wish list. Let me try and line that up a little bit better. Alright, that's good. Alright, we fixed it. We're going to pop the foot on, and then we'll be able to stand up this mech body. Which, the way I have the camera, you're actually looking at it from the top. So let's just keep doing it from the side so you can keep a better view. Alright, bag 3. I have no time frame for length of stream. It'll basically, the stream will go as long as it takes to build all 3 of these guys. But we're making good time. We're only at 26 minutes and we've already gone into the 3rd of 9 total bags. So bag 3 is going to be the arms and accessories for the mech. As you can see, the elbows use the same fixed, non-posable joint pieces that the knees did. So we'll do that. Let's make sure we use the correct piece as we build. I'm just setting these up so that they don't go rolling around. Circle pieces like that, it can be a disaster when they roll off the table. So I was making sure that they won't do that. fat fingers are in the way again. There's not really much I can do about that. But I'm doing my best to keep as much of this on camera as possible. The cool thing about these mechs is, as far as I know, no sticker sheets. You have the printed tiles for the chest piece, and then I think everything else is standard monocolor pieces. Alright, we need one of these. And then the other one. Yeah, these things can't roll off the table now. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So it uses these little tiny pieces with a clip on the end. Is that jointed fingers? That's pretty cool, considering how limited posability this is otherwise. It looks interesting that they went with jointed fingers. Unless, well, alright, we'll stick this onto the model like this. And then we will start building up the other arm. Last of the joint pieces for this first model. Hold on 1 second. We'll check it out after the stream. I got a notification, but it's not anything urgent. So I will check it out after the stream. It's about something that's going on tomorrow. I'll have plenty of time after stream to take care of whatever it is. You'll notice the detailing bits on the other mechs are gonna, the structure is and most of the pieces are gonna be pretty much the same, but you'll notice the actual surface detailing bits are gonna be different depending on the character. Because Boba Fett has a different armor style, and Darth Vader has a different armor style. So the actual detailing bits might actually not be these exact pieces in other colors that you see on the stormtrooper. "32 minutes in, and we're already almost done with the first one, so." Oh, looks like this arm we're starting with extra pieces. Something's happening on this arm. It says we need to add this piece. I have no idea. Well, I have an idea what's going on here, but I think this is the piece it's looking for. So now if I find the other one of those, there it is. Oh, sorry, that whole bit was off camera. I'm sorry. Okay, and then we have this pin piece. That explains the reason for the plate with the hole on the end. And then this piece is supposed to go in this side. So yeah, this hand definitely has something fancy going on. And then we add those finger pieces that we saw on the other hand. Okay, I'm not sure what the extra bits on this arm are for, but let's go ahead and put this arm on, and then so we still have about 10 pages of instructions. So we're not done yet. Okay then. I think I know what those extra bits are for. Okay, and then we take this piece, and that's the warning sign showing a ball hitting a head, so hey, I think this is one of those shooter pieces. I'm not going to arm it on stream. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the ammo. But we still gotta put it together. The instructions are a little unclear how this piece is supposed to slide in. Hold on, this is a piece with tiny detailing. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, it clipped right in. Okay, I don't know how these things actually... I don't know how those shooters are actually meant to launch, nor do I actually care, because if I do it on stream, we're gonna lose the ammo. Oh wait, is that how it does it? Okay, and then we have the stormtroopers. Yeah, we're definitely building a blaster here, an oversized blaster for the stormtrooper mech. Let's see, how does that line up? That's good enough. And then we have this piece here. Goes in like this. Oh, I see. That's how he holds it. So that's what the whole piece was for on the trooper. So we just slide the gun into his hand like this, and we can fold the fingers around the part that he holds. The name escapes me for the moment. So there we go. There's the stormtrooper's blaster. Let's try and do it like this. All right. There's a decent view of the blaster there. And then you just put a stud in the front, and then you're able to shoot it. Okay. Let me just see. So to put it into shooting mode, you actually raise it like that. And then you'll attach the stud sideways like that. And let me just shoot down into my hand. Yeah, that's pretty cool how that works, but I know I didn't show that on camera, but I'm not going to. And then we just got to put the stormtrooper in. So the stormtrooper, okay, so that little bracket piece inside is supposed to hold the legs upright like that. And we just close the chest over it. So yeah, there's no way to hold the blaster, the minifigure scale blaster. But there is a way to holster the minifigure scale blaster on the side of the trooper mech. Like, okay. Did I put that piece on? No. How is that being held in there? Okay, I think that's how it's supposed to go. So as you can see, there's a little holster for the minifigure scale blaster. And then, of course, the big scale blaster that actually shoots is over here on this side. And the trooper in the middle. And you can see how that's the minifigure head just sticking out to make up the... Oh, there is no mech head. And to show you the face one more time, to show you that this is, in fact, a girl. Which is cool, because pretty much every Stormtrooper minifigure up till now has been a boy. And there we go. Final look at the Stormtrooper mech. And you can see in this picture the other two that we'll be building. We'll be doing Boba Fett next. So let me... I'll go ahead. And the blaster does look a little better with that little bit of transparency in the front, transparent color in the front. Popping it in does actually arm the blaster trigger, though, so I've got to be careful. You know what? It's meant to come with 3 shots, so I'm going to go ahead and place two extra shots. I'm going to place some extra shots on the back here, since the back is so plain, like that. I'm going to hold the shots back here. like that. Since you can't see them from the front anyway, it makes perfect sense to hide the shots, the extra shots there. So there you go. I'll leave them on screen while I get things cleaned up and ready for the next mech. Let's take all these little bits into my spare parts baggie. And let us proceed with, that's the end of Stormtrooper. Drop frames is at 0.2%. We're actually having a solid stream tonight. I don't want to jinx it though. We still got 2 more mechs to build. We're about 43 minutes in, but I spent a lot of time talking. So yeah, even though these are 80-page instructions, they build pretty fast. So now we're going to go ahead and build Boba Fett. There's the box. There's the back of the box. And I can see I totally butchered the opening for the Stormtrooper, which is okay. Yeah, this one opened a lot cleaner. Here's the instruction book, which, as you know, I'll be reading off of the computer. And then he's got bits and pieces off to the side. I wonder what these are for. I'm going to hold on to that baggie since I have no idea what it's for. As before, we're going to take bags 2 and 3 off screen. As before, bag 1 is the torso and character. Bag 2 is the legs. Bag 3 is the arms. And it looks like this one has a gun as well. They all have a weapon at the end of bag 3. This one has a couple extra pages, which, well, he has about 15 extra pieces compared to the other 2. So Boba Fett probably has a little more detailing than the others. Alright. Already I can see he's starting off with extra pieces on his minifigure, which is good. We like detail. Printed legs. That's something you don't see. Well, you see that on a lot of minifigures these days, but arm printing. Arm printing is kind of a rarity. Look. You can see printing on that arm, and then he also is printing on the side of the arm. And here's his back. You can't see his back when he's assembled, though, because the instructions show we'll be adding his jetpack there. And there's his front. Now we're going to put in his jetpack, which will allow us to attach his head. And there's what he looks like without his iconic helmet. Let me see if I can get him on camera better. There he is. If you'll focus. Alright, and then for the helmet, I just dropped his helmet. Luckily, it fell within reach. And it looks like we have to do an attachment piece for the helmet, which is in this baggie of attachment bits. I'm going to keep this at the side of the table in case we need more of these attachment bits later. But for right now, we have to get the antenna for his helmet. And then that looks like the correct piece. We attach the antenna to the side of the helmet. And my fat fingers are definitely going to obscure this because the piece is so tiny. It's so tiny, in fact, that I'm worried about dropping it. But no, we got the antenna. We're good. So now we're going to... Why is Stormtrooper still on the screen? Alright. Let's keep the finished mechs off the screen so we can focus on the one we're working on. We're gonna put the helmet on. And then he's got a blaster piece with an extension according to the instructions. So yeah, definitely a lot more detailed of a minifigure. And it looks like his blaster extension is actually the iconic lightsaber piece. That's definitely the iconic lightsaber is his blaster extension. And that goes onto the blaster like this. So he gets a nice little lightsaber piece as part of his gun. And like before, we're going to put it to his side because there's no way he'll be able to wield it while sitting in the mech. So there is Boba Fett. And there's his weapon. A nice big long rifle gun. Here's the extra bits in case we need them later. And like before, the torso starts with this chonky piece. And I'm in red right now, but overall, we haven't dropped a lot of frames. You can see Boba Fett will actually be the most colorful of the three. And we just went back to green. Let's proceed. You'll notice as we build, the build is going to be similar, but some steps are going to be distinct. Not just in color, but in which specific pieces make up the surface detail of the mech. Alright, sorry about that. A piece fell, but luckily I watched it as it fell, so I saw exactly where it landed. When I see where it lands, when I watch it fall and see where it lands, recovery's a little bit easier. I think I will go ahead and upload that stream with 50% drop frames to the but I'll include in the notes that, hey, yeah, internet was bad that day. Because as it stands, I'm not going to be able to stream all the Legos that I get. Like, for example, I'm planning to collect the City series in physical Lego, but because I already built it on stream in virtual Lego, I won't be building those again in physical Lego. Maybe London, because London has that one structure that's impossible to do in the studio. So I might stream the physical London, but probably not. But that's the only one that I would stream again, since I already did those. You can see how there's a lot more color going on with Boba Fett than there was in the Stormtrooper. And Darth Vader is once again pretty much monocolor. But Darth Vader is visually distinct from the other two, which you will see when we finish him later. Alright, like that, I think. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah, that's distinct. Alright. I'm trying my best to stay on camera. I say that every time I do Legos. I know. Alright, let's keep going. As you can see, this is where some of the detailing starts to get a little bit different. And it's different enough I want to check and make sure I did. Yeah, I did the other one correctly. Alright. So yeah, this one's definitely a little bit subtly different in surface shaping, which is a good thing. Alright, and here we go with the chest panel, this time in green, dark green. And like the Stormtrooper, all the mechs have their own printed tile. In the case of Boba Fett, he gets this one, which is detailing from the chest plate of his armor. We'll stick that on him like that. Here is the chest plate piece. And then the instructions say to attach that to the torso like this. And that's where he's going to sit when we finish this. Okay, looks like there's another whole section going on Boba Fett that we didn't have on the Trooper. I was wondering where these extra pieces in bag one were for. So it says to add this orange, yellowish orange piece, and then to add this piece on the back with the holes. And I caught that other piece before it rolled off. There we go. There's this really dark navy blue piece here. And then a brown. So Boba Fett's colors are traditionally all over the place, but rooted in this mostly green, brown, and gray, but with other colors all over the place. So now we have these navy blue round bricks we got to deal with. Oh wait, I think I know what's going on here. Let's just wait and see as we add more pieces. Are we building a mech-sized version of his jetpack, maybe? Because that would be awesome. Remember, the stormtrooper was plain on the back. Based on the size, it would seem that's exactly what we're doing here. Sorry, I did that bit off camera. Yeah, it says this is supposed to attach to the back section. How does it line up? I think it's supposed to line up like this. So there we go. This is, well, it's not fully shaped yet, but there's part of Boba Fett's iconic jetpack on the back there. I like how his back is already more detailed than the Stormtrooper. So I won't be able to sit the torso flat like that. We'll just set it off to the side, angled up like that. Alright, we're going to go into bag 2 now. We're exactly 1 hour into stream now. Excuse me. So now we're starting here. And on this figure, it looks like the knee joints actually match the color with the standard joint piece. They only print the standard joint piece in a couple of colors. So most sets they just give gray to. There's some specialty pieces like that that are only printed in a small selection of neutral colors, as opposed to other pieces which are printed in whatever. Okay, this detailing looks different now. So yeah, the shaping is definitely different for Boba Fett's legs. It has the same basic piece, of course. It has the same basic non-flexible knee joint, but the detailing pieces are definitely a different shape. Which I appreciate. Because every mech should have its own distinct shape and appearance, even though they're all based on the same basic structure. Okay, so this is the leg, like this. And then we'll start. Okay, this model has us doing both of the legs and then the feet. Interesting. In the Stormtrooper, it did one leg, then its foot, then the second leg and its foot. So that's an interesting switching up of the order. It still doesn't change anything about the same basic structure, though. Just where it appears in the book. Alright. So let's keep going. I don't really have much to talk about, so sorry for these stretches of silence while I focus on what I'm doing. I did finish watching Ahsoka last week. Kind of interesting how I'm not going to spoil it because I know some of you haven't finished yet. But let's just say, like the other TV shows, Ahsoka does a lot of world building. But Ahsoka, the way Ahsoka extends the Star Wars universe, wow, just wow. I can't really talk much more about it without spoilers, so I won't. But there will be a stream sometime soon where I talk about everything Disney's been doing with Star Wars, because they've really been doing a lot of world building. We're about halfway through the Boba Fett instructions now. It looks like... Alright, so it looks like we're supposed to build based on that upper image. These feet are identical, unlike the stormtrooper feet, which were which the details mirrored each other. It looks like these two feet are supposed to be identical. So I'm just going to go ahead and build 2 copies of the instructions, and building the feet simultaneously. That explains why I had us do the second leg first before the feet then. Because on the stormtrooper, they had to be different. I mean, they had to be done individually because they were mirrors of each other, whereas on this model, the 2 feet are exactly the same, it looks like. So it's more efficient to just put the 2 feet together at the end of the legs. That explains why the parts were reordered for this book. Alright, sorry, I did that off camera. I shouldn't apologize for doing things off camera because I don't mean to. It's irregular, but because of the way my setup is, and because my hands are so big, it can't be helped. We've had this talk before when I've done Lego, but like I said before, I do the best I can. And there we go. There's one completed foot. And then let's get this other piece. Oh, I don't think that foot is quite complete yet. Okay, why aren't we lining up here? Did I do something incorrectly? Yes, I did do something incorrectly. But I didn't need to burden the brick separator. It's there if I need it, but I didn't need it for that. Okay, though, yeah. You see that big 2x. So I put this little bottom piece here to hold, to strengthen the foot. And it says 2x. And then here we just pop them onto the model. Like this. And So the Boba Fett mech is making progress. It is time for bag 3. We're still at only 1% dropped frames. So my previous theory that it was a camera issue is proving to be incorrect. I'm surprised we're getting it so good because we're not getting our internet upgrade till Friday, but I'm glad we are having a good connection today. Okay, so it starts off this step saying we have to add these bits to the bottom of the jetpack like this. Where's the other one? There it is. So on the back, what we just did is we just added these elements to the bottom of the jetpack. And now it has us build. All right. I need to figure out the center of balance. There we go. So now we're building, it looks like another section of his jetpack. I think it's cool that they made the jetpack such an iconic part of his character outfit into a part of the mech. It helps keep it distinct from the other mechs, along, of course, with its color. I like these 3 little models. I hope they do more Star Wars mechs in the future. Maybe even a few of good guy characters. You know who would have an amazing mech done in this style? Chewbacca and C-3PO. Though C-3PO is not a combatant character. But Grievous, Chewbacca, Maul would be a good mech. Yoda would probably be a good mech. Basically, anyone who has one of those iconic character designs. So we're going to stick this into the back of the jetpack like this. And that snaps in like that. I know I'm standing him up right now. That's just for convenience of reach. But we can go back to showing him like this for right now, because it looks like we're done with the jetpack. Alright, we're doing this as before, same piece for the elbow joint. Okay, the grill piece is interesting. I just gotta make sure, because the way they do the grill piece, this is one of the detailed kind of bricks they've been doing for years. You can see one side the texture is horizontal, and on the other side the texture is vertical. So the instructions always try to be clear which side you want facing out in your build. So we want to do it like that. Okay, so it looks like these arms have a completely different build. Yeah, 1x1s. Anything other than bricks, but anything with slopes, tiles, plates, 1x1s are so hard to grip. But you get used to it. Many years ago, I had a Lego set that had like 50 or so of those 1x1s you had to place all in a row. It was insane. I do appreciate the use of detailing bits in the sand blue color. Um, there's even a small handful of pieces in sand green. Sand blue, sand green are kind of rare shades. So it's cool to see them used as detailed bits in this set. So and then we need, it has us using one of these pieces. Oh, is that for his arm rockets? That's another iconic weapon that a lot of Mandos have. Here's the finger bits. And this just attaches on his arm like this. Well, that is his arm. It attaches on his torso like that. So you can see here, that's his first arm. He also has the posable fingers that the other mech had. So now we're going to start building his other arm. And I can see in this pile, this one also has that stud shooter piece. Except because he has a jetpack, I don't know where I'm going to hide the extra shots for this guy. I'll figure something out. I'll figure out some creative place to put an extra shot or two. Okay, that's interesting. On this side, it wants the vertical ones out. So there's some non-symmetricalness going on with his design. It's mostly a mirror of the other arm. Actually, no, it's not. Is it? No, that looks like completely different. That looks like a completely different setup going on there. Interesting. So far, we've only made 2 drops and both fell within reach. No, 3 drops. But who's counting? Alright, we're keep adding pieces. That's the point of Lego. And then we have another one of these pieces on the wrist like this. But you can see this instructions is doing the thing we did on the second arm of the stormtrooper, which is where we build some extra structure to hold the gun. I mean, both guns are based around the same stud shooter piece, but it'd be interesting to see if the guns are actually different in completed look. We'll take a look at that when we finish Boba Fett, I think. We'll see if the guns are the same or different. Vader doesn't get a gun, making him the odd mech out. But he gets something even cooler. Alright, now we're going to add those finger pieces. And then this arm will attach onto the torso like this. But we're not done quite yet. Because you know what we have to build now? We have to build the rest of his gun. And here's the main gun piece itself. And of course, it's got a little got this little piece that pops in. So it looks like the guns are actually pretty similar. I'm not yet sure if they're totally identical, but they're pretty close. Yeah, they even have the same scope going on. Alright, so there's the blaster, and we attach it to his hand. And fold his... Oh, that whole thing was off camera. Sorry about that. But there you go, there's his blaster. And if we hold up next to the stormtrooper, yeah, they're pretty much the same gun. If you hold up the two blasters next to each other, you can see the stormtrooper's blaster. They have a little bit of different detailing on the back end. The stormtrooper has a gray and a round detail, whereas Boba Fett has brown and a black detail, but other than that, the guns are pretty much exactly the same. Alright. What's the instruction doing? Of course, it says to... Alright, where to hide. This... He doesn't have any obvious hiding places for his studs. We'll hide 2 on his back right there under the jetpack. And that's it. I can't find any other hiding places that wouldn't be actually messing with the detail. So yeah, even though Boba Fett, the back detailing does matter, I think having those 2 studs there is not too distracting, and maybe enhances the back a little bit. That's open for your opinion, of course. And then we have to put him in the seat. And we also have to store his blaster. So let's pull this arm out of the way. Let's take, where does it show it holding the blaster? Alright, so we're going to take the minifigure scale blaster. And attach it to this little clip here on his side like that. And then we're going to open the front. And we're going to slide him in. Does he go in with his jetpack is the question. Yes, he does. Close it up. And there he is. The Boba Fett mech. Definitely a lot cooler of a color scheme than the stormtrooper mech. Let's put him on. Let's put him on screen again. And you know what? We ended up not needing these other side. You know what the side bits are? Anytime they do a clone minifigure that uses one of these bits, they give you a whole baggie of bits. I've read that somewhere. Apparently, because the way they're manufactured, they can't just put the little bits in individually anymore. I mean, for this clone detailing. I mean, there's goggles here. I mean, not goggles, but visors. There's some more of the helmet antenna. Anytime they do helmet bits like that, apparently they give you a whole bag of them. I don't yet have any Lego. Here's the bag of bits again. You can see visors. You can see some more of the antenna. I do not yet have any clone minifigures. So I'm gonna, since we're done with Boba, I'm gonna dump this bag into my baggie of spare bits. Eventually I'll get some clone minifigures and some battle packs, and I might customize them with some of these visors. There's definitely a few battle packs I've been eyeing. Alright. Oh. And we'll leave one stud out. And the reason we leave one stud out is because I forgot to put it in to the gun to give it that extra little bit of detail. But we're going to go ahead, one last look at Boba for now, and I'll take him off so we can move on to Vader. Yeah, I gotta be careful not to handle him from the gun because of the stud. Doesn't. Alright, one last look at Boba, and then let's clear the room for the biggest, baddest one of all. Here is the Darth Vader mech. As you can see, instead of his blaster, he has a lightsaber. And there's the back. You can see he has both a minifigure scale lightsaber and a mech scale lightsaber. Interesting. Okay. We'll talk about that when we get there. We are an hour and a half into stream. So. Alright, let's see what's going on here. There's that. Okay, it comes with this little... I'm not sure what that box is. We will find out. Oh, I need to switch the instructions. There they are again. And there's the instructions for, as before, bags 2 and 3 off the screen. And then this one actually has the smallest number of pages, but only by a couple. So the build length will still be approximately comparable. Here's the instruction book. And of course we're finishing off with the PDF instructions. So bag 1, of course, is the figure and the torso. Okay. Cape. I guess that's what that little box is. And you can see the mech scale lightsaber blade that isn't in the baggie. We won't be using that until the end. And now the cape. You know, let's not take out the cape till we're actually using it. So we'll start with the legs. And there is some printing on these legs. It's a bit hard to see, but he does have leg detailing. It isn't just solid black legs like some of the Vaders we've had in the past. He too has arm printing. This is not going to show up on camera. My lighting's not great. And he's got black base to his design. I mean, you know Vader, he's all black. But you can see some of the detailing on the arms there. And the detailing along both his torso and his leg pieces. And now it's saying to add the cape. So we'll go ahead and take this little box and pop it open. I guess this is how they keep the cape pieces, the fabric pieces, fresh for shipping and transport. So it's the instructions say to slip the cape onto his neck. First one hole, then the other, which should shape it. And then we get, oh, he's got a two-part helmet. So he has this little bottom piece of his breathing device, like that. And then we put the head on. Oh, and I need to show you this head sculpt. I'm not used to the Vader headpieces, the Vader helmet being two pieces. For most of Lego Star Wars, for most of Lego Star Wars history, Vader's helmet has been a single piece. It didn't use to have the separate respirator piece. I guess it's so that people could recreate that scene at the end of Return of the Jedi. But here you go. Here's his head sculpt along with the respirator. You can see his, if it'll focus, maybe not, but you can see his scarred up, burnt flesh appearance. Very distinctive head print there. And then, of course, you slip the helmet on like this. Oh, and the helmet just goes over the respirator and lines up with it like that. So there he is, complete. Again, it's hard to make out detail because my lighting's not the best over here, and he's an all-black character. But we'll leave him right there. And, of course, we're forgetting something. Huh? The lightsaber piece has, the minifigure scale lightsaber piece has a metallic finish to it. It's shiny. There's his lightsaber. Like with the other figures, we're not going to attach the lightsaber because he's not going to be able to hold that in while piloting the mech. And now we're going to go ahead and begin building. Starting, of course, with this. There's a series of Marvel mechs as well. I'm thinking about getting some of them. The Thanos one actually has the Infinity Gauntlet with representations of all the stones. And for a cheap, like $15 set, to have even a minimal version of the gauntlet showing all the stones would still be awesome. So I'm almost certainly getting the Thanos mech. I have to see which other ones there are, though. So this is the third and final model for the stream. It's interesting that even though his character design is all black, the mech does appear like it's going to be using um, a bunch of gray for detailing. That's cool because it breaks up the monochromaticness of it. Okay, so this time the belt bricks, the hip bricks, do not actually have the little clip bits on them, which means the lightsaber goes elsewhere. Interesting. And here we go with the one moment. Just looking at something real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So yeah, this one looks like it has the same belt shape as the stormtrooper, just in black instead of white, as opposed to the slightly different belt that Boba had. So here's the chest piece, and like the others, he too has a printed tile for the chest. Let me make sure I orient this correctly. This is his printed tile, which is of course his famous breathing machine. I've always thought that to be weird. I mean, he keeps the control panel for his breathing machine like right on his chest. What? And he's a vicious killer who can outfight pretty much anyone. Why don't people who are unfortunate enough to end up in battle against him, why don't they just target his chest piece? I mean, obviously there's in-universe reasons why that wouldn't work, I guess. But the fact that nobody even seems to try it. Anyway. So there's the torso. And it looks like this one's getting pieces on the back of the torso as well. It doesn't look like it's anywhere near as involved as the stormtrooper, though. But he does have some shaping for the back of the torso. Maybe to give the hint of having a cape in the back. Or no, really, it's no cape. I think it's just done like this to cover as much of the gray with black as possible, I guess. It's the only thing I can think of. And then you have these clip pieces here, and the instructions like that on the back of this black chunk. Oh, I see. Instead of on the hip, this is, I think, where the minifigure lightsaber is going to clip onto. At least that's a guess. And then this to hold those clips together. For a long time, there was a bug in the virtual Legos, and this particular round 2x2 underside piece was missing from the from this. I mean, it wasn't missing from the studio, but when you would pick sets to automatically load their parts lists, it wouldn't load. But they fixed that bug, so now that piece appears just like all the other pieces. Except, of course, for the specialty pieces it can't find. But anyways, here's the torso. Here's the back of the torso with the lightsaber clips. Definitely not nearly as detailed as Boba Fett, but more of a cleaner finish than the stormtrooper. There's the torso from the front. And we'll stick this right here. And we will move on to bag 2. Looks like the extra bits from that bag are a respirator and another lightsaber hilt. Alright, we're starting with the legs again. This is doing the knee and elbow joints in dark gray. So I'm guessing because it's a specialty piece, it doesn't exist in black yet. Is what I'm guessing. Where's the piece I'm looking for? There it is. This is the third, of course, the third and final mech of the stream. After this, I have no Lego and unbuilt Lego in my possession for right now, but I will get more. Obviously, there will be more virtual Lego as well. I am going out of town at some point before the end of the month. I'll be spending Halloween with my niece. We always do Halloween together. So that'll be fun. So at some point next week, I'll be leaving to get ready for that. But other than that, now that I know, now that we're getting our internet upgraded on Friday, other than my time away, streams should start to be regular again. Okay. So as you can see, the leg is going to, once again, have different detailing than the others. Each has its own shaping and detailing on the arms and legs, but follows the same basic structure. That's cool how they were able to keep each one unique. Okay. 1x1 slopes, because of course there are. Oh, that does make for some cool shaping. Especially when these two pieces are added that it's doing. I've not actually seen this specific shape of slope before. In person, I mean. Interesting. It has us doing the left leg first this time. Okay, it has us doing the other leg again. So this must be like Boba, where the feet are the same. Yeah. We're still at under 1% drop frames for the whole stream so far. So I think whatever happened last week when I tried to stream the dragons, or I should say the dragon babies, I think that was just a bit of bad luck. All right. 1x1 slope time again. Oof, that was a Butterfinger moment, but at least it stayed on the table and didn't splash anything else to the floor either. Lego can be tricky when you're a person prone to Butterfinger moments. But there we go. There's the torso with both legs attached. And yeah, it looks like we're doing the feet simultaneously again. And I just got hit with a sudden wave of fatigue, but I'm fine. We're close enough to the end. I'll be able to make it through without issue. So that's 2 Butterfingers moments in less than 3 minutes. I'd better be careful. Maybe I should take a rest when stream is over. Okay. Then we just put these bits on the front. And there's a completed foot. You can see in the front. Very basic design. This boot has a slightly simpler design than the other two boots. And then we attach those onto the bottom of the legs like this. All right. So there's the mech suit with its legs added. And now let's come over here. We go into bag 3. It says in bag 3 we will finally be using this lightsaber blade piece. This is interesting. I've not seen anything like this piece before. It's mostly a bar piece, but thicker than the average bar. But it's got a very slight, tiny, short length of axle at the end, Technic axle, which must be how it connects. We'll set that back over there till we need it. Let's open up bag 3. This is the last little bag of today's stream. So stream is going to be 2 hours and some change because we're about 1:53 right now. Okay. Looks like all right, we're going to keep going. Interesting, we're covering over the elbow section. The others had detailing at the elbow. No, I don't think that's the correct piece. No, that would be the correct piece. It is making for some cool shaping on this one too. Wow, that was so close to going off the table. Thankfully it didn't. But yeah. It's a good thing we're almost done, because Butterfingers moments in that frequency means I'm getting fatigued. Let's see, I'm not sure exactly how these are supposed to line up. Well, that goes... Oh. Is that the correct piece? I think so. In that case, I have it on wrong. Looks like it's actually supposed to line up like that. Do I have something messed up here? Hold on. Okay, those are supposed to be even with that. Those are... Oh! I did that wrong. That's why that other stuff wasn't lining up. Again, didn't need the separator for that. They popped right off easily. Now we can fix everything back up the way it was. Now this piece should go into position correctly, and it does. Okay then, we fixed the issue. Okay, there's the piece with the hole, which tells me that this mech is doing the right arm first. Interesting. Interesting reversal of the sides on this one. There's about 15 pages or so left of instructions. I can dig it. We're close. And then this piece, this pin goes in. I'm gonna, and now it says to finally add this big lightsaber blade piece. Where's the axle end? It's hard to see because transparent, but there we go. Pop that in. This arm is holding his lightsaber. We clip off the other end like so. And then we add the fingers. And since that's already his whole weapon, it's just an easy matter to just wrap the fingers around the hilt. When it's time to attach. Like so. So now he's holding the lightsaber, fingers wrapped properly. We will attach this arm. And then I guess we just have to build his off arm. So our mech is progressing now. Here you go. And there's little Vader off to the side as big Vader comes together. Let's build the last arm. Yeah, this mech is turning out looking pretty cool. Minifigure lightsabers threatening to roll off the table meanwhile, as I keep accidentally bumping it. Alright, let's do the rest of the arm detailing correctly the first time this time, now that I know what to expect. Now we just add the last 3 fingers. And that clips on to his other side. Oh, I bet I can put together a nice little forced choke pose with this arm. And it's showing that we're supposed to store the lightsaber on his back. Like I did with the others, I'm going to store it on the offhand side. I can either store it face down like this, which makes it out of the way, or I can store it heads up like this, like in the picture. It actually kind of looks like a little antenna. Yeah, for now, we'll do it that way. Now, it says to squeeze him in there with his cape. Now, Boba fit with his jetpack. Does Vader fit with his cape? Yes, he does. And he stands fine. So, here's Vader. It probably is a cleaner look to have the lightsaber pointing down like that, the back lightsaber. Actually, come to think of it, that does look cleaner, but I'll have to ask for my brother's opinion when he comes home. Anyways, I'm gonna lay him down. You can look at Vader for a minute while I get things cleaned up over here. Let's get these pieces into the parts baggie. And now that that's done, let's line them up. We ended up not needing the brick separator, but every physical Lego stream I do is going to involve that because you never know. There you go. There's our 3 mechs for today. Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, and Boba Fett. And there's the one last look of the at the instructions arrangement. Some other Lego Star Wars sets that are available right now. Looks like Yavin Base, Yoda's Jedi Starfighter, Ahsoka's Clone Speeder Battle Pack, and that looks like some kind of droid from The Mandalorian. And now we will go. So it looks like my playback froze, but I don't think that's the actual stream itself. I think that's just my playback on my end. Just my. And it looks like even lag in terms of seconds behind isn't that bad right now. So as you can see, we're going into Twitch screenception right now because I turned off the instruction books and switched over to the Twitch screen. Let's see who's available to raid. Only a couple musicians. We got Kendra, we got Chaselin, Sally, but I'm not familiar with her show, And that's it. No, it's been a while since I've been to Kendra, but I'm not sure. She may be one of those who has rates turned off. Do we take our chances with Kendra, or do we go to Chase one? Chocolate Cupcake Day. Maybe we go to Sally. Let me see. Let me see if I remember which show this is. I try and go to whichever musician I like who has the fewest viewers. Let's go force an ad on that screen for a minute. So until it finishes the ad, we'll just. Oh, layered switching back and forth between ads. That's interesting. Oh. Okay, it's a studio show, not a live show. You know, we can go to Sally Wallach tonight. Let's do it. Have a good night, everyone. This was fun. Hopefully they'll release some good guy mechs in the next wave. And I will see you all soon. Have a good night, and may the Force be with you. Have a good Force. Have a good Force. Welcome in, Uncle G. How was your stream?